Welcome, everybody. This is Charles Owen from Paladin. Welcome to the free advanced training webinars from Paladin. Today's subject is an introduction to the spring 2019 release. This is a very large release. It's chock full of information. Today we're going to be covering a subset, some of the very important and more obvious changes in the new Paladin software. So we'll be covering that today. Moving on to the first slide, we are going to be discussing your integrations. Now, this continues with our theme, we put data to work for you, or you're putting your data to work. And today we're going to talk about some integrations that we've added recently. Easy Add is one of those. Deputy, Point of Rental, True Value Rewards, as well as Best Rewards, on top of the other rewards programs and loyalty programs that we do support. Also, we'll be talking about several new features in the purchase order area, Invoice and Quote, customers, reports, bin tags, and so on. So this will be a series of different webinars that'll be coming from this. Right now, we're going to be just hitting the highlights of these particular features. We will be doing a series of webinars on this topic and this subject matter, going into and drilling down to each one of these ones. And not all of them, but a subset of them. So real quickly, we are rolling this out. As of right now, it is June 2019, and you will see the install of the update coming through in the next couple of few weeks or so. When it's available in your store, you'll receive a special email announcement. And also, if you go to the top of your Paladin screen where it says Help, you can drop down to About Paladin, and there it will give you a number, and the last 4 digits before the last decimal point should be 2352 dot something, dot XX, either 161718, who knows what it might be by the time it goes out. But that is going to be the release. You will be notified of this release. The first thing I want to talk about on the integration side, where we put the data to work for you, is the digital signage and mobile app from Easy Add. This is a very cool product. It synchronizes with the POS data, and it enables you to display your products and your sale items in your store on the display screens automatically. It collects this information and pushes it out, looks at your different promotional sales and things. It's very cool. In addition to that, there is a mobile app and a tablet app that your customers and you may get into to see price comparisons and to play a game where you can collect customer information. You can hook up a barcode scanner to any one of the devices in the store to do price comparisons and price checks and watch videos on the products and things like that. It's a very cool marketing tool for your store, and it adds a whole nother level of marketing and engaging your customers in your store. So check it out. You can contact Easy Add directly, and they will hook you up. The second one is another very, very cool application through Deputy. It's a time clock and employee scheduling. It's just that. It is amazing. This time clock allows your staff members to come in and check in. And also you can build a profile for each of your employees based on what their availability is, when they can work, when they can't work. And then the cool thing is we take this information, all the workflow information in Paladin, and we push it through Deputy. And Deputy then creates the schedule for you. So they'll create a schedule for the next week, month, whatever. And now that information is out in everybody's hands, and each one of the employees can have access to this application, and they can trade their time slots with others that are equivalent job responsibilities and job duties. I've seen this thing work, and we have a customer on it, and they're just amazed at how simple it is to create your employee schedules. And it really takes a lot of the onus of you trying to figure out, well, when are we busy? When are we not busy? When is this person available? When are they not available? And it just does it automatically. It's pretty swift. So check that out. We will be providing a link very soon that will take you into that. In the meantime, you can contact Deputy directly and they can get you hooked up. There is a webinar on this subject, and will be a webinar on this subject on June 18th. Stand by, make sure you watch it. It will be an actual demonstration of the product. So it's going to be by their Vice President of Sales, and you've got to check that out. We also integrate with the point of rental. So we believe in best of breed products, right? We're not in the rental business, we're in the point of sale business. But the people that are in the rental business, they are good at doing rentals. So same with the time clock. We didn't build a time clock, we integrate. Same with all of the different integrations, which Paladin has over 100 of, into things like e-commerce, financial software, gas pumps, grocery stores, other loyalty rewards programs, surveillance camera systems. So these are all the integrations that we have. Point of rental is another one that we hook up to, and this is a bi-directional connection where we share the data and the information between the two. So you can coexist in your store with a point of rental software program and Paladin. Next, another integration we've added recently is this is for True Value. So all you True Value stores out there, we've been signing a lot of True Value stores recently since we've been invited to the True Value market. And we have written to just about every integration that they have, and we're still continuing to write on those that we are still working on, which are some of the less frequent ones and less used ones. But this one is in very high demand, so we created this one pretty quickly, and it's the being able to manage the loyalty rewards programs for True Value and manage things like BOGO sales, discounts, coupons. This is the sign up. So sign up happens right at checkout. It's the same as it works for the internal Rich Rewards program that Paladin provides, as well as repeat rewards, ACE, Do It Best, True Value. They're all kind of the same, where they prompt you with the rewards ID or phone number. That's all you need. If it recognizes it, it populates the data. If not, you can sign them up right there. And all you do to sign them up is scan the back of the driver's license if you have a 2D scanner. If you have an existing customer that you want to sign up for the Do It Best rewards, it's real simple. At the top, there's a little sign up button that you'll see on there. You click on that and it prompts for the information. Again, you can scan the back of the driver's license, goes right in, and you can manage this information right within Paladin for existing customers. Same with Do It Best rewards. You can, again, you have a phone number or rewards ID, you can scan that in or type that in. Comes up, prompts for the whatever information that isn't found. If they are an existing Best Rewards member, their information will come up and you just populate the information and continue. Again, if they're an existing customer, you can go in and you can sign up for the program right from within the Paladin customer module. All right, so what's next? This is on purchase orders. You can edit the quantity and price on a PO that has been sent. This is something that we've got a few requests for, and I can see that, a scenario where this might happen. You might send an order in, your actually order's been sent off, and then the manufacturer calls and says, you know what, this only comes in 18 inches, not 15 inches, or this is green instead of red. And you might want to go in and make some modifications, and there might be a quantity change. Maybe they say, well, there's a minimum quantity you have to buy of 3, not just 1, or the cost changes. So with any of those, you can go in, and in this particular case, you can change the quantity or the cost of orders that have already been sent out. So it's pretty cool. You can save it after that. And then, this used to happen only upon the receiving event can you change these fields, but now you can actually store the received PO, the sent PO, not quite received yet, but the sent PO you can save, and when you're ready to receive the item, when the truck comes in, delivers the item, you can just bring this up and it's already going to have the proper quantity and cost. It's going to hopefully match your invoice. All right, what else can you do with purchase orders? Well, this is a really, really, really significant release and feature. This is called the Order Analyst. There's two parts to the Order Analyst. First part is you can order without selecting a supplier. So you can either run your suggested order by not selecting a supplier, or you can take your RF unit, your gun, you can walk around and you can actually scan products from multiple suppliers, or you can run your historical, your history, what you sold in the past week, and generate a PO from that. Any one of these methods let you create a purchase order. Once you create the purchase order, and let's say there's no supplier, when you bring up that PO, it's going to prompt you with, hey, there's not a supplier assigned to this. Would you like me to divvy up this PO into a PO for each one of the primary suppliers of each of the items that you're ordering? And the answer would be absolutely. So there's a question that comes up that says, hey, do you want to split the current purchase order? Now, it says something for this part one, which is the split PO component. It's going to say based on the lowest supplier cost, but that's for the part two. But next, on the next screen, says the PO has been successfully split into 19 individual POs. So it breaks it up, and it's really nice. So it looks like this. On the left, you've got the full-on order with no suppliers. Once you bring up that purchase order and you say, yes, apply the split purchase order, split them up based on primary supplier. Now you've got a supplier A PO, you got a supplier B PO, you got a supplier C PO, and so on and so forth. So it looks like this. So you've got the original PO that says split working purchase order. And you run the process, it splits it into 2, 3, or 4, however many it needs to, in order to fulfill all the supplier one or primary supplier orders. And now you've got just those specific items that you're ordering from supplier number one into its own purchase order. So really, really cool program. All right, what else does it do? So I alluded to the fact that it does something with best cost, and that is in fact what it does. So if you use Order Analyst and you have EDI to more than one supplier, and those suppliers are either ones that we support or that we plan on supporting, you can now direct your POs to create or add those particular ordered items to the vendor that's going to have the lowest cost. Now, this is only effective for EDI because EDI, electronic data interchange, which you know you can run daily or weekly, and what that'll do is it'll update the cost all the time. Without that feature, this isn't an effective feature because you have to have the latest price or cost rather. And you know, if you just go in and willy-nilly put costs in, that's not going to do any good because they change all the time. So we want to make sure that you've got EDI, you've got the latest of the cost available, and it will break this the POs up accordingly. So what this looks like is we actually do store now multiple costs, minimum order quantities for each individual supplier. And it also tells you the last time that data was uploaded, and it just takes that and auto-populates this information based on the first time that you run EDI. So when you run the EDI process, it's going to pull this information in. Now, if you're doing EDI and you have an item that is not on that order, or it's not in the price change file, or it's not anywhere in the electronic data interchange coming in, whether it be a maintenance file update or an invoice, then it's not going to obviously update it. It's only when you get the price changes for those items will it populate the current market cost. All right, what else is new? So we have a new feature for True Value. As I mentioned, we've been invited to the show, and there's kind of a lot of things that they required from us, they being the dealers, the investors. And In this case, there's a feature that allows the True Value folks to send in missing items or missing items in the order, so missing order items. And they just select missing item as the drop down when they're sending in their purchase order. Also, when they run their EDI, just like every other EDI that's out there, pretty much we get an immediate response saying that it was a successful file, was processed successfully. So that's done for True Value as well as most of the others. Now getting into the invoice and quote, more exciting stuff. So everybody should know at this point that we have a right-click button when you're in the invoicing screen. So at invoicing and at POs, but primarily at invoicing, if you right-click on your mouse, you can see insert line item, delete line item, insert note, add precision, meaning add up to 6 decimal points for price and quantity, I think is 4, and then profit analyst. You can bring that up on the screen. These are all, some of these are tied to permissions like profit analyst. You don't want to let everybody see your cost and your profit and your margin, but that's what the profit analyst does. The footage calculator, you can get into that to do your tallying for you for linear foot pricing. Insert subtotals, if you want to break and chunk up that invoice into multiple items, it can subtotal throughout. And as you add and remove items from within those subtotals, it changes and updates. And then you can update any recalled quote to current prices. You can do one by one, or you can do all the items in that invoice. And then one we're highlighting right now is the search invoice and quote. So that is you're able to right click, hit search invoice and quote. You'll go up and type in what you want to search for, and it goes directly to that item. You can search for a keyword, a part number, really anything within that part number or description it will find. So great feature, especially for those. You can see on this invoice, the example shows 115 items. You have 115 items. It takes a while to sift through that. You got to be able to search quickly and get to the line you want to get to. And that's what allows you to do it. Next, in running credit limit overrides. So let's say a customer comes in, they got a credit limit of $10,000, they're up to $9,900. It's going to kick them back and say, nope, you can't do it. Well, that does allow you to override that figure if you're a manager. In this case, the credit limit is exceeded by $313,000. Wow, that's a good order. Would I take that? Well, it depends, but the example here shows that if you want to track this information, which most people do, anytime during the day or at the end of the day, you can go into your what I need to know. So this is under reports, sales analysis, what I need to know, and then salesperson exception report. We've added another field saying include accounting overrides. So what we do is we'll show you an invoice of those overrides, and it will show you which manager overrode it and how much they overrode it for. And you can then take this information and try to just be more informed about what's going on in your store. Next, huge demand for this feature, counting notes in customers, in the customers module. So in the customers module, the only notes you can put in right now come up at checkout, right? You got the checkout notes. Well, we've had a demand, lots of demand for, hey, we want to put all kinds of notes in here for each of the customers, just different stuff. It doesn't really matter. They want to store the information. So what we did is, if you follow along with me, if you go to customer tab or the customer module, and then you go to the credit tab, and then down below where it says payment history, there's a little magnifying glass. You click on that, and it will bring up a new note field where you can put in a note. It automatically dates and timestamps it and employee stamps it, and then you can put up 650 characters in any one note, and you can have unlimited notes. So pretty cool stuff there. Moving on, what else do we have in the customer module? We have address verification system update. So what is address verification? Well, that enables you to capture more information on customers' credit cards so that you can get a better rate because there's less risk in processing that credit card. So previously, you can only update it on the pad when you're putting in the information. Well, now you can go back into the customer module in Paladin under the electronic tab, pull up that particular credit card and add in a full address. And that will help with you getting better rates because it's less risk to the processor if they have the address. So that information is now in the system and could potentially save you money. Now, what you want to see, if you look on the left-hand side here, just above the number 3, there's a green checkbox with AVS. You want to see that because if you see that in all your stored credit cards, that means that you are getting a better rate than if that wasn't checked. If it's not going to be a green checkbox, it would be a red X. Red X, not good. Green checkbox, good. Definitely go through now and update those with the addresses, and that'll give you potentially a better rate. All right, so reports. We have a new accounting summary report. So before, nothing's changed on top of this report, but you can see in the yellow square at the bottom of the accounting summary report where you get to it by going into reports, then accounts receivable, accounting reports, and you go to accounting summary report. We have added lots of different breakout of sales, taxes, service charges, partial payments, and things like that. So we've broken down the figure under account balance to more granular. So if there's information, depending on how you do your accounting, this could be really advantageous and save you lots of time. So at minimum, you got service charges up there, you got sales tax applied, and that's all in the monies that's sitting there in your account. So it's good stuff. It's a great feature. Moving on, we have another change to our report. This is a discontinued items report. We've updated and added a column for location. So to make it simpler and easier to see, which location this item is in, you can find it easier, you can check it out. We've added the location ID based on a request from our customers, and it will hopefully be more helpful for you. Following this, the inventory count list, one of my favorite reports. The inventory count list has a ton of hidden features in it. I mean, it'll tell you things like, what are your upside down margins? What are your top 10 sellers, your top 100 sellers? It's all kind of, depending on how you slice it and dice it. Now, what you're looking at the screen right now is you're looking at A through B columns and then R through U. All the other ones in between were hidden, so I can put it on this screen for you to see. But if you go into Reports, Inventory, General tab, and then under the General tab, it's Inventory Count List. It gives you a criteria you can search for. I always do the whole store. Why not? It's a quick report. It goes right to Excel. All these reports that I've showed you, you got to make sure you have the Excel product on your machine, Excel license, so you can see this. But what this shows is under the column R, we have a counted quantity with an underscore. So you can actually produce a report like this, give it to one of your clerks or managers or whoever, and they can take this and actually walk around with the old-fashioned way and use a pen if they don't have an RF gun, or if you, depending on how you want to use it, it's here. So that was requested. And then also the last counted and last received dates, I think, are really useful columns as well. Let's move on to the next screen here. So this is the final feature I'll be discussing with you today. These are the bin tags. We've added a new style. It's a little bit different than some of the other ones. We now have 33 different bin tag styles that you can choose from, depending on whether you're printing to batch, which is through Microsoft Access, where it prints 40 on a page in a laser printer, or whether you're producing this for your bin tag label printer, which is dedicated off in the corner up on the counter, or you can have the one that sits on your hip and it Bluetooths directly to the RF gun. Those are the three different methods of printing. And then there are umpteen different formats that you can produce. And if you want to see a list of these, the LTSR catalog is the best place for this. So there is a link if you grab the profile or the presentation after you watch this. There is a live link, LTSR catalog, where you can just click on that. It brings the catalog down. Or At any time, you can go to portal.paladinpos.com and search for LTSR, and then you're going to click on the LTSR catalog for labels, tags, signs, and reports. And then there'll be a LTSR catalog download. And it's a PDF document, and it is, I don't know if it's 100 pages or not, but it's long, and it's chock full of information about bin tag styles, item tag styles. Then you've got the sticky ones, and you've got the non-sticky ones, and you have the reports and signage. We have all different types of sample signage in there. It's a really great resource to check out. So that is also, you can retrieve that if you just go to Paladin website, paladinpointorsale.com. In the top right-hand corner says websites. Click on Help Portal. Under the Help Portal, just click on that and search for LTSR, and that'll get you this document. We update it on a regular basis. So what do we have? So this webinar that I'm presenting right now will be posted on our website very soon for everybody to see. This is probably how you're watching it right now. So I thank you for your time, everybody. I hope this was useful information. As I mentioned, there's more information and more features than what I showed you here. So keep an eye out for the release guide, which you can check out right here under the link Spring 2019 Release Guide. You can go to that same help portal where you're going to type LTSR and just type 2019, and it'll pop right up there, and you can see all the documentation. Also, on your Paladin application, when you log in, there's a flash screen up there that shows the new features. It'll also be there too, and you can just click on that. You can see all the documentation. More than what I'm showing you here, more than likely. And if you have any questions or need help, you can always call Paladin. Thank you, everybody, again, for attending. I hope this was useful for you, and everybody have a great day. Goodbye.